Okay, so the cultural artifact that I chose is my pool stick, also referred to as a pool cue. Alright, so not only a sport I enjoy playing, but an excuse to get together with friends and teammates at your local dive bar. I was quick to say I know how to play pool, get fast. I would jump up, start hitting the ball at full force. But after getting well affiliated with the game, playing with some excellent talent in the APA League, I saw 8 Ball for what it was, a game full of critical thinking, strategy, and a lot of competitive nature. This new love for the game I thought I knew how to play started at Pogo's Bar and Grill, located in Van Nuys, a city of the San Fernando Valley. Although that wasn't my first time picking up a pool cue, it was where I polished up my game the most. Let me introduce you to the APA, the American Pool Players Association, and its league, a great way to take your pool playing skills to the next level, where the competition varies in age, skill, and ethnicity. First, I'll introduce the popular league for pool players and the history of the sport. Second, we'll go over the pool stick, also referred to as a cue. Third, take a look at my involvement with the sport and its culture over time. The American Pool Players Association was started in 1981 by two professional pool players and billiard Hall of Famers. Terry Bell and Larry Hubert made it possible for teams all around the nation to come together, compete, and enjoy the same passion for the game. An article written by the APA states that these dreams were made possible by big sponsors such as Anheuser-Busch, who came along in 1979, a major break for them. In the beginning, it was hard to get the organization off to a profitable start. But with support like that behind them, the APA hosted its first national championship in 1981 in St. Louis for a cash prize of $12,000. Although billiards is one of the oldest games to exist, it resembled and originated from a game played outdoors in the 15th century. It evolved from a long game similar to croquet played in Europe. This is why the felt, which is the cloth liner on the top of the table, is green to resemble grass. Richard Logan wrote an article on January 18th, 2023 on azbilliards.com. The development of the professional side of the sport was a long and arduous process. It began in the early 19th century. This is when the first pool table tops appeared and the game grew in popularity. The APA has also been recognized as the top small business and home-based franchise opportunities in the world. In 2010, Forbes magazine ranked the APA as the second top 20 franchises to start. Having such popular worldwide association to participate in, the history of success from the business aspect is not hard to believe. In my experience playing in these leagues, stay in business by charging to become a member of the organization, having team dues on match night for each player, and entry fees for tournaments. So enough of the history lesson. Let's get to one of my prized possession and artifact that I chose, my pool cue. One of the most important tools used to get the win against your opponent. Once you get more serious with the game of pool, you learn the importance of having decent equipment to execute your game plan better. I'll give you an example of the evolution of the pool cue, when the popularity and demand grew, also the introduction of the breaking cue used in the match to keep from damaging your shooting cue. The pool cue is essential to the game. The modern stick used today is much different from back then. Maces were in their place. The mace has a lot of similarities to the modern day pool stick, except for one detail, the head. Unlike the straight head of a pool cue, the mace is much bigger and was used in the early 1600s. They found this stick had its area of improvement, especially true whenever the ball would be close to a rail and would keep players from making a decent shot. A quote taken from Paradigm.co.uk explains how during the 1929 to 1930s there was a tremendous increase in demand for billiard cues, brought about by the opening of several thousand public billiard halls. I can already imagine the joy of purchasing your new cube back in those days. Walking in with a carrying case and a new pool stick, having your own gives you that full pool league experience. There are two different styles of pool cues. One is used in the first play of every match, which is to separate the striped and the solid balls using the breaking cue. Predator released the first breaking cue in 2001, equipped with a balanced weight design as well as the tip furlue developed to transfer maximum energy. This information was taken from an article on predatorcues.com. Just with the history and longevity of the sport, it's easy to want to pick up a cue and start playing. Let me first tell you about my personal connection with this amazing game. Falling in love and getting better at this game took a lot of patience and dedication. Telling you about every win and loss would be too much. So let me explain where and when I started playing, when I was introduced to the APA, and my first time experiencing winning with my team. I began playing summer of 2002 in city of Canoga Park in my uncle's garage. No form or detailed instruction of how to play. I began hitting the balls. Soon visits to my uncle's, which were intended for swimming and staying out the heat, became practice sessions. In no time I was beating and putting up a great fight against the competition in that garage. Little did I know that my skills would still need a lot of improvement to compete in the APA. In 2018, at the local dive bar, Pogo's Bar and Grill, I was introduced to the National Pool League and joined a team by the name of Taylor Made. This is where my game went to the next level, watching and learning from the higher ranked players on my squad and the competition. My first season played with TaylorMade was spring of 2018. We won the Valley Wet Blue tournament, took first place, and the prize money to split among us. That season was full of new styles of play and strategy needed to get the win. Knowing only how to strike my ball before turned into learning how to play defense through ball placement, which also helped on the offensive end. As you can see, playing for money and the bragging rights for the night, APA can get very competitive. Just as I was taught new skills when playing billiards, first, we were able to learn interesting facts about the history of 8 ball and the APA League. Second, going over a pool cue. And lastly, my personal connection to the game. Next time you walk into your local dive bar, take a glance over at the pool tables. It could be league night or an APA tournament going on. Take a final look at my prize cue. Hopefully, it will encourage you to visit your local billiards store and purchase one. You may be the next one competing for first place. Thank you.